Okay, let's start together. So, Hugo, what is the most exciting thing you've ever done, and how did you feel when you did it?
I remember when it's on April,
Uh-huh.
I told my dad, Dad, can you tell me how to drive a car?
Mm-hmm.
So he took me to Tewa to Santa Cruz,
Uh-huh.
and he keeps the. So I was trying, and I
Okay.
drove the car at 120 kilometers per hour.
Uh-huh.
So it was so exciting.
Okay, and how did you feel when you were driving up to 120?
That so was so incredible.
Incredible. Okay. What about you, Oscar? What is the most exciting thing you've ever done, and how did you feel when you did it?
I think uh um I don't know what to say because I have too much things, I think.
Too many things that you've done?
Yes.
Okay, for example, have you ever been to a place that you liked a lot, or did something that was amazing for you, or learned
When I
something?
the most exciting thing, um go to Universal Studios.
Okay, when I went
Uh-huh.
to
When I
Universal
went,
Studios,
yes.
and what did you do there?
Uh, Take photos
Did you ride the
and
games?
yes.
And how did you feel when you did that?
Um Very happy.
Okay. Remember, we're going to use excited, we're going to use delighted, meaning, I mean, a lot of emotions, right? So, how to respond these questions, because we're doing something like the last classes, and I thought we were over that, right? So, first, we need to respond the question. What is the most exciting thing? You need to respond using that. The most exciting thing I've ever done, and boom, you give your answer. Remember to add emotions, and that was amazing. It was wonderful. It was incredible. Why? Because that was the first time ever. Because that was the most amazing, the most dangerous thing I've ever done, right? Add a reason, you have to add an example, and then you have to compare or result what has happened. Let's see what will be something like that. Please, Leilani, help me with this answer. This is an example of how it should be done. Notice that we have superlatives, we have present perfect, we have emotions here, we have more present perfect, more emotions. We even have a comparative here, more confident now than I used to be. Please, Leilani, read this.
The most exciting thing I've ever done was traveling alone for the first time. I felt thrilled, but also a little anxious because I have never done anything like that before. I've become more independent since then and think I'm more confident now than I used to be.
Okay, so you remember what was the vocabulary that we saw? The one that I sent you by WhatsApp. I send you overwhelmed, I send you thrilled, amazed, and a lot of vocabulary. Do you remember? So this is the moment to use it. The most exciting thing I've ever done was traveling alone for the first time. I felt amazed, I felt thrilled, I felt delighted, I felt anxious, I felt you can add a little bit more. Oh, you can add a lot more of adjectives here, right? So using this. I'm going to give you some useful expressions here. When a person asks you that in response, you need to add a follow up question. Please, what's up? Yes. Okay. So, follow up questions. Why was it so exciting? Would you do it again? Has that experience changed you? So, we can add more follow up questions. Supposing that we are speaking, do you remember? This is the moment. Why was it like that? Right? For example, Hugo was telling me that he traveled, right?
Yes, I
Accepting
tried.
gift. And so I asked him, how did you feel? How was it? Would you do it again? And stuff like that. These we call them follow-up questions when we continue. Hold on. Okay. So yes, something like this. Or you can also add more follow-up questions. Please screenshot this or write the questions, right? This question, I need you to ask me that questions, right? When I said, well, the most amazing thing I've ever done is traveling by myself. It was amazing. I felt so nervous when I was trying to leave and stuff like that. What question would you ask me? I'm telling you that like the most exciting thing that I've ever done is when I traveled alone for the first time because I felt thrilled, but also a little anxious because I've never done that before. And now I feel like I've become more independent, so I can go everywhere and I feel more confident now. So, what question can you ask me using these follow up questions? Remember, when we're speaking, we need to be able to ask questions. I'm telling you this. Can you ask me the original question? Who can ask me the first question so I can answer? Do you remember the first question that I asked you? It was this. Anybody who can go to the chat, please ask me the question so I can respond. And then you ask me any of these questions, okay? Anybody? Oscar, please go to the chat and ask me that question. Can you read the question, Oscar, in the chat? Oh, sorry, I sent it to Hugo. Sorry, sorry. This is the question. Go to the chat, Oscar, and ask me this question, please. Yes. No, the first question, Oscar. What is the most?
Oh, la respondo.
No, ask me the question. Hazme la pregunta. What is the most exciting thing? Esa pregunta, that question. Or anybody who can ask me the question? Leilani?
What is the most exciting thing you've ever done, and how did you feel when you did it?
Okay, the most exciting thing I've ever done was scuba diving by myself. And I remember this because I was so nervous at the beginning. But then after I started diving, I loved it. And now I feel like I love more going underwater and than I was before. You know, I was nervous before doing it, and now I feel more confident. Now, please ask me any of these questions that make sense. Any question?
And yes, what have you learned from that experience?
Well, I've learned how to use a scuba diving equipment. I've learned that it's something that doesn't take too long to learn, and it's something that you can do it with if you go out with your friends. And it's I've learned a little bit more of being brave and stuff like that. No? Another question?
Can I?
Yes.
What's the most difficult part of scuba diving?
Well, the most difficult part of scuba diving is the pressure. When you go deep, you know, sometimes you
Yeah.
start feeling the pressure. So I will say that that is the most difficult part. Plus the fear. You feel like
Oh, yeah.
you're going to sink under the water. So that feeling is more like to fight against yourself. Okay? So something like this. Do you have these questions already? It's important that you have these questions. Please screenshot or copy the questions because we're going to go to a speaking part. Let's go to the next part. Present perfect chunks. We call them chunks because I need you to use this when you speak. The first one, please, Oscar. Read the first one.
I've never experienced anything like that before.
Perfect. When we speak, you can say this if you understand the person that is saying something, but you don't wanna share the same thing. You can say, okay, that's nice. I've never experienced anything like that though. Right? The next one, please, Leilani.
I've been through something similar.
Through. I've been through something similar. I've been through something similar means that you have been a través de algo, has pasado por lo mismo. Next one, please, Hugo.
I have learned a lot from the experience.
Yes, remember, even though I have is well pronounced, here it's when there is a contraction, we say like I've learned a lot from that experience. I've learned a lot from that experience. Next one, please, Oscar.
I've changed a lot since then.
Yes, I've changed a lot, or I've changed a little bit, or I've changed a bit since then, right? When you are talking about an experience, it's important to mention if you have changed, if you have learned something, and stuff like that. Please, Leilani, the next one.
I've become more confident over time.
Yes, I've become more confident. Here you can use any comparative sentence. I've become braver. I become stronger. I become more confident. I become more fluent, etc. Right? Depending of the question, you just change the comparative. Next one, please, Hugo.
That have helped me understand myself better.
Yes, that has helped me to understand myself better. These are some present perfect chunks. You don't have to use all of them, but you need to know when to use a present perfect chunk, right? When you are talking about your experience or your results. Perfect continuous chunks. Next one, let's start with you this time. Please, Leilani. Presently.
Recently, I've been through
And then you add any of the experiences that we talked before. Overwhelmed, thrilled, delighted, and all the adjectives that we've seen before. You can answer using any of them. All right. So let's move with the next one. Please, Oscar. Hold on, I'm gonna take this out. Hold on. Okay, there we
Monday.
go. Read the next one, please. Lately,
Lately, I've been trying to.
uh-huh. You can use any. Lately, I've been trying to do something, right? So you can use this as an adjective, right? Nervous, proud, insecure, irritated, and more. Next one, I've been working on, I've been dealing with, I've been trying to, right? If I ask you a question, you can use this, right? I've been trying to improve my
Right.
English. I've been trying to learn more words. I've been trying to speak more naturally. Using comparative and superlative in your answers. That's important. Today we're going to have a lot of speaking. Comparative chunks. Please, Leilani, let's start with the first one.
I feel more confident than before.
The next one, please, Oscar. It
Sorry.
was
It was more difficult than I expected.
Hugo.
I am less anxious than I used to be.
The next one, Leilani.
I'm like, no, this year has been more challenging than last year.
Exactly. And the last one, please, Oscar.
I handled stress better than before.
Perfect. Okay. So as we have comparative chunks, we also have superlatives. This is just to give you the idea of how to respond. Let's go with the first one, please, Hugo.
It was the most stressful experience I have had.
I've ever had, right? So you
Yeah.
can use here the most stressful, the most beautiful, the most amazing, the best. the funniest, the scariest. So you can use superlative here and you can change it to whatever you want, right? So you can use any superlative here. It was the best experience I've ever had. It was the most incredible experience I've ever had. You can use any superlatives here. It's up to you. Next one, please, Leilani.
That was one of the most important lessons I've learned.
Yes, that was one of the most important lessons I've learned. That was one of the most important things I've did, or etc. You can use any of this. Oscar, the next one, please.
It's the best decision I've ever made.
Yes. Oscar, let's suppose that you want to say, esa fue la decisión más fácil que he tomado. How would you say it?
It's the most easiest decision I've ever made.
Okay, very good. Just remember, we don't say the most easiest. We only say the easiest. No need of the must. The must is only for long adjectives. For example, this. Embarrassing. You remember? So is the easiest decision I've ever made. All right? Um, let's go
Right.
with the next one. Please, Hugo.
It was the most embarrassing moment I've had.
Yes, the most embarrassing. Okay. How would you say el momento más emotivo?
It was the most emotive, bueno,
Emotive moment.
emotive moment
Yes,
I've
it
had.
was the most emotive moment I've ever had. Okay. So something like that. Let's get ready for speaking, guys. Okay. Let's go to the next part. Pair work. In the next activity, I'm going to show you some questions. You're going to work in pairs. And besides speaking, you need to use follow-up question. For example, let's suppose that we're working together. Leilani and Hugo. Leilani, you ask the questions, and Hugo, you respond. Okay? Let's do it to
Okay.
see how we do it.
What is the most challenging thing you've ever done?
The most challenging thing I have ever done was moving a new city. I feel overwhelmed at first because everything was unfamiliar.
Next
Um, how what no, how has the that experience changed you?
It has made me more independent. I have also become more confident than before.
Have you been feeling more comfortable recently?
Yes, I've been feeling much more relaxed because I've been meeting new peoples and buildings on the time.
one. Okay. Routine, right? Let me see. I'm sending you the PDF so you can respond, right? We're gonna have a speaking conversation using this, right? Have you been feeling more comfortable recently? Yes. So the original question was this. Then a follow-up question and another follow-up question. I want you to do this, okay? We're gonna work in pairs. Since we're not too many of us today, we can work in pairs here, right? One by one, pair by pair. So, do you have any question on what we have to do? You have to ask the question. I'm gonna give you the questions and the possible follow-up questions. So you have this speaking conversation, right? For example, let's start with Oscar and Leilani. Decide who's gonna go first and what follow-up question. You don't need to use all of them. You can use one or two, or if you want, the three of them. Who wants to ask the question, Leilani or Oscar? let's ask this question and let's start to speak. Who wants to start?
Me.
Okay, Oscar, ask the question, please. Remember, as you ask the question, you need to pay attention what she's responding and ask any of these follow-up questions if needed. Okay?
Okay, I need to ask
Okay.
the blue question.
Yes, you have to ask the question to Leilani, please.
Okay, have you become more confident than you were last year? What has helped you?
Uh-huh. Remember, a little
Um,
bit of pronunciation, just a little bit before Leilani. Oscar, here helped you. Helped. Repeat the
Okay,
last question.
helped.
Yes. Go, Leilani, please.
yes, I have. I've become more confident mm, than I than the last year. And what was helped me, going to Puebla for university and meeting new people has helped me a lot.
Okay.
What is the biggest improvement you've noticed?
The biggest improvement is becoming more independent and confident.
Very good. That was amazing, guys. You started really good. And something that we can use when we are comparing to the past, Leilani, something that you can use is using that I used to be. Remember that
Okay.
instruction?
Yes.
Now I'm more confident than I used to be to not repeat the last year again. Right?
Okay.
So the
Yes.
question, what is the biggest improvement you've noticed? You can say, well, now I'm able because you're talking about ability. Confidence is an ability or skill, right? So you can say, well, now I am able to speak more fluently, to make more friends. I'm more confident in myself. I I've tried different styles, clothes, and stuff like that, you know? So only
Yes.
that. Remember, I'm able, you can use to describe an ability. And let me write it here. Now I'm able to speak more fluently, to make more friends. Okay. And remember that I used to be. Right? This is to describe something in the past, abilities in the past or situations in the past. Than I used to be. Okay? The rest was good. Remember, give reasons for everything. Add superlatives or comparatives. You remember the first part? If you don't, go to the PDF that I sent you, please. And page 2 or page 3, you can see the examples of the PDF. All right. So now let's go with this. Now, please, Leilani, you ask the question, and now Hugo, you respond. Oscar, you pay attention to the questions and the situations. Try to see how they used comparatives, superlatives, and everything, right? So,
Right.
Leilani, you ask the question, and Hugo, you're ready to respond, please.
Okay. What is the most stressful situation you've ever experienced, and how did you manage it?
Mm, the most stressful situation I have experienced is on my trimester exam and how did I manage it. So a day before, I studied a lot because
Um, did you feel overwhelmed?
mm, at the start, yes, but when I studied more and more, the feeling disappeared.
You can ask another follow-up question, Leilani.
Um, what helped you stay calm?
Things that help me stay calm is video games, my cat, and my cell phone. Doom scrolling. It helps a lot or for stress.
Okay, very good. Very good, Leilani. Your intonation was good in the questions. Hugo, instead of chemistry, we say like chemistry. My chemistry exam, right? And when you say at the start, you can say at the beginning, right? Sounds much better when you say at the beginning. I felt, oh, I was feeling stressed, but then I calmed down or something like that, right?
Okay.
So Hugo, are you better at handling stress now?
Yeah, I can say so.
Okay, very good, Hugo. Try not to give short answers. Try to give me long answers. Yes, now I'm better, because give me reasons. This is to make a longer sentence when you respond, okay?
Oh yeah. Okay.
Okay, Hugo, now is your time to ask Oscar a question. Oscar, the same. Your response, try to use comparatives, superlatives, everything, right? Using this structure. Hugo, make sure to use one or two follow-up questions when he responds. Let's
Okay.
go.
What is the most useful thing you have learned recently, and how has it helped you?
The most useful thing I've learned recently is learn to. ¿Cómo se dice? Um,
Sorry, I
um,
was muted. Again, please.
is I don't know. Fix computers.
I learned how to remember.
I
Remember the
learned
last class? I learned something like this. I've learned how
I
to fix. Remember that expression. I've learned how to fix computers.
just
Uh, Remember, Oscar, you have to give a full answer. What you learn, how did it make you feel using comparative or superlatives? For example, well, the most useful thing that I think I've learned is that I learned how to fix a computer. And I think that is useful because now I can fix my own computer, or when my mom has a problem with when her computer, I can also go with her and try to fix her computer. And it's something that is useful. Try to
yeah.
give me longer answer. Try to put the ideas together, and then you show me your answer. Okay, Hugo?
So, how long have you been practicing it?
I've been
Yes.
practicing like 2 months, 2 3 months.
Very good. Just remember, instead of like, remember the last class? We say I've been practicing for
Oh, okay, okay,
about 3 to 4 months, etc. Right?
right.
For about 3 months. I've been practicing for about 3 months. Another question, please, Hugo.
Why is it useful for your life?
Why
Because
is
if my if one familiar have problems with his computer, I can help him.
Yes, in this case, it's important, Oscar, and everybody, right? When we speak about a person that we don't know who's that person, we use them. For example, if one of my family members or relatives, puede ser también, has a problem, I can. help them. We use them porque no sabemos si es a él o a ella. Since we don't know, we use them to communicate that any of them, para comunicar que cualquiera de ellos, ya sea mujer o hombre, usamos them. If one of my family members has a problem, I can help them. ¿Por qué le pongo them? Why do I add them si estoy hablando de family members? Right? Acá estoy hablando de plural, porque dice one of them. One of them. I can help them. Lo puedo ayudar o la puedo ayudar. Right? So let's go with the next one, please. Now, again, Leilani. Oh, let me see. No, Hugo, you ask Leilani.
Okay. Have you been feeling more motivated or less motivated recently? Why?
Okay, very good, Hugo. Just practice pronunciation. Motivated. When the ending is TED or DED, the pronunciation is it.
Okay.
Remember the syllable? Motivated. Have you been feeling more motivated or less motivated recently? Why? Very good, Leilani.
Okay. Yes, I've been feeling more motivated recently because I finished all my subjects with good grades. And I've also been spending more time at me.
Very good. In this case, I don't think the follow-up questions can apply, but you can ask your own follow-up question, please, Hugo.
Oh,
She said that she's being more motivated because she passed all her subjects with good grades, and she has more free time to spend with her family members.
hablas pensado no. Uh, what have you been doing since you have more free times?
Okay, what have you been doing since you have more free time?
I spending more time and at the gym and watching series on the TV.
Very good. Now, please, Leilani, now is your turn to ask questions to Oscar. Oscar, this is your question, so let's go, Leilani, please.
What is the most embarrassing moment you've ever had, and how did you react?
When I need to play a song in my school and I do a wrong note.
Okay, I played the
I play a wrong note
Do you feel embarrassed when you remember it?
too much.
What did you learn from it?
I learned I need to practice too much before and before uh uh before event.
Yes, maybe I need to practice more, a lot more before an event, so I won't forget again, right? Now, Oscar, please ask these questions to Hugo.
Okay. Have you been working harder than usual lately? How was it affect your mood?
Okay, how has it affected your mood? So, Hugo, have you been working harder than usual lately? And how has it affected your mood?
Yes, I have been working harder and harder because I want to get a good college, an international one, maybe like Harvard. Harvard.
Oh, yeah,
So I have been learning mathematics, maths,
maths.
chemistry, all of my subjects. I need to improve myself. So I was a little bit stressful, I think.
Yeah, I was a little bit stressed out. Please, Oscar, ask any.
Um, do you feel excited or proud?
Do you feel exhausted?
Or exhausted or proud?
The boat. I feel very exhausted when I need to study all the subjects and studying how to code like Python, Java. And I am proud of myself because I am doing it great. It's for my future.
Okay. Another question, please, Oscar.
What has helped you manage your energy?
Mm, Sleep early, eat healthy, and doing exercise. That's it.
Very good. According to that, you can ask. You can still ask more follow-up questions if you want. The last one, please, Hugo for Leilani.
What is the best decision you've ever made, and how has it changed your life?
The best decision I've ever made, I think, it's to study my career
Mhm.
and how has it changed my life? Maybe it's a thing that I like to study, and I've been feeling more um, thrilled
Mhm.
since the last year.
Yes, you can also say since I started, right?
Okay.
Yeah, because it's something that you are enjoying, it's something that you are, well, having a good time doing it, right? So you can say yes, and it has changed my life because since I started feeling more thrilled, more confident, and that's something that I enjoy doing, stuff like that. You can complement your answer. Follow-up question, Hugo?
Okay. What would your life be like without that decision?
I think I um, I feel more um, nervous that I think uh, no, that I don't know how what to study.
Yes, I there you can use would, Leilani. I think
What
I would feel more insecure,
to
or because I wouldn't know what to study. Would or wouldn't, because you're talking about something that you might feel, right? Something like that. So, do you have any
okay.
questions? Okay, now it's time for me to ask you questions, and the rest of you ask follow-up questions to your classmate. I will ask them the question, the main question. For example, I'm gonna ask this question to Oscar. And Leilani and Hugo, you each have to ask one of these follow-up questions, okay? So let's suppose that we are in a classroom, we are sitting on a desk, and I'm gonna start with Hugo. I mean, with Oscar. Oscar, tell me, what is the most difficult skill that you ever learned, and how long have you been practicing it?
I think mm, I think piano because I play like one one time in a week, And
Okay, before you move on, so sorry for interrupting you, Oscar. You can use this. This is very common to use this. Hold on. I think l- the most difficult, para ganar tiempo, the most difficult thing I've learned is playing the piano. Well, I think the most difficult thing I've learned is how to play the piano, or is learning how to play the piano, or is playing the piano. It's learning, I've learned, is playing the piano. Tell me why.
because I can play only one time in a week.
Okay, there you have a frequency adverb. Tienes un adverbio de frecuencia. I can only play, y vas a utilizar, en lugar de ser one time of the week, vas a decir once a week. I can only play once a week. Please, guys, ask him follow-up questions.
Is it easier now than before?
Yes, I think it's more easier than before.
Quita el more, it's easier.
It's
Yes,
easier
I
than
think it's
before.
yes, I think it's easier than before. Remember, more solo para los largos. Okay, Hugo, your question?
Have you become more confident with practice?
Yes, I become more confident.
Ok, para que no sea repetir lo mismo, puedes cambiar y puedes decir, yes, now I feel, ¿recuerdas? I feel more confident
Yes,
than I used to be. Remember eso, como de lo que solía ser o en el pasado. Than I used to be in the past, por ejemplo. Right? Para que no sea como
right.
repetir la misma. Yeah, I actually feel way more comfortable. ¿Se acuerdan de eso? I feel way more comfortable. I feel a lot more confident than I used to be in the past. ¿Se acuerdan de esas expresiones? Okay. Let's go now with Leilani. Leilani, this is your question. You guys be ready for the follow-up question. Leilani, have you felt less anxious about speaking English than before? If yes, what has happened? What has changed?
Um, yes, I have. I've been feeling less anxious because I've been talking on these English classes and participating more in conversations and speaking.
Excellent, Leilani. Yes, I feel way more confident now because I've been practicing and I've been talking more in my English classes and I participate more, and that makes me more confident. Please, Hugo, your follow-up question.
What advice will you give to a beginner?
Good. What advice would you give to a beginner, Leilani?
Mm, um, maybe that you need to study a lot of vocabulary because it helps you
Yes,
to
study a lot
improve
of vocab.
your level.
Yes, study a lot of vocabulary because it helps you to boost or to increase your level, right? When we give advice, lo hacemos de la siguiente manera. Something that we can use, Leilani, is give the straight advice, decirlo directamente. Pero hay otras formas de dar vocabulario, de dar advice. Por ejemplo, can you tell me what else? You should, right? You should study more.
Yes,
What else?
you must.
You'd better, you must, you can, or simplemente el imperativo, study more, learn more words. Practice every time, right? Oscar, please, your vocabulary, your follow-up question, please.
Have you become more confident with practice?
Leilani, have you become more confident with practice?
Um, yes, I do. I feel much more confident than before because I've
Ex-
been practicing English more often.
Yes, I've been practicing English more often. Perfect. Something like that. Add your words, you know? Excellent. Much, much better. Okay. So, questions here? Hugo, let's go with your question. No, this is the same question. Hold on. Let me see. Speaking English. No, it's different. So sorry. Hugo, have you felt less anxious about speaking English than before? What has changed?
Yes, I have feel less anxious speaking this because I am learning how to spell correctly and I am using Duolingo to improve my English skill. It changed a
Okay,
lot for me.
very good. Follow-up questions for Hugo? What would be a good follow-up question?
Um, what is the most, I know, what still makes you nervous?
Okay, what still makes you nervous?
I think to talk to an American native because I think I will make some mistakes on grammatic or speaking.
Yes. Very good, Hugo. In there, we can use a prepositions there. Instead of saying I'm afraid, ¿se acuerdan que utilizábamos con afraid, chicos? Los que ya tomamos. What do we use? There, Hugo, you can use because I am afraid of making mistakes, making grammar mistakes, not remembering a word. I'm afraid of learning. Whatever you say is with ing, not remembering. I'm afraid of making mistake. I'm afraid of not remembering the words. I'm afraid of mispronouncing a word or something like that. Leilani, your question for Hugo?
Well, listen, another a different question, but how did
Okay,
you discover Duolingo?
okay. How
Oh,
did you discover?
so one of my friends called Lauro,
Uh-huh.
when I was playing Minecraft with him, he always is using Duolingo. Every time I see the song of Duolingo, so I want to join to him. I want to improve my English. So I download Duolingo.
You downloaded Duolingo.
Yeah.
Perfect. Question, guys? Duolingo is a good app to for practicing vocabulary, right? If you want to practice vocabulary, Duolingo is good. It's something that can help you remember the words, expressions, useful expressions, and stuff like that. Okay? Questions? Do you guys have any questions? Uh, okay. Please, I forgot to write the follow-up questions for this last question. Anybody wants to ask me this question? Who wants to read the question? That's gonna be for me. But you still have to ask me follow-up questions.
What is the most rewarding experience you've had this year, and why was it meaningful?
Okay. Well, I've had a lot of experiences this year. One of them was when my students had a certification. When they presented the exam for a B1 certificate, and most of them got certified. And that was really meaningful for me because I have taught them. And every time that you see your students be successful, it's really meaningful for you. And also, when like 2 weeks ago, I bought my new motorcycle, and it was something that I was desiring since the beginning of this year. So it was really meaningful. Even though it's something material, it's something that I really like, doing, riding my bike and stuff like that. So yeah, follow-up questions?
And yes, since when did you want a new motorcycle?
Oh, since I bought the first one, when you buy the first motorcycle, you are willing what is going to be next, right? You're dreaming with the next one, a bigger one, a better one, and when you get a better one, you look up for the next one. So since you have the first motorcycle, you are expecting for the new one. Oscar, has Oscar left? Yeah, he has left. He leaves exactly at 6. Okay, 7. Hugo, follow-up question?
Okay. So, what is the cost you have paid to make the goals?
To make a what? A ghost?
The goals, las metas.
Ah, to the cost for what? Sorry, I didn't get it. Can you repeat
To
the question?
make your desired goals.
Oh, well, it depends. Sometimes you want something expensive, sometimes you want something cheap, and it doesn't really matter about money. Sometimes it's just how much you want something. So, yeah. So, do you have any questions now?
Nope.
Okay, how was this class? This is the last thing that we see about present perfect continuous, and comparative and superlative. The next one is a different topic. Do you have any questions on this? It requires practice. If you have any questions, please let me know. I can send you more information if you want. Nope. Okay. Well, this is gonna be the end of this class. See you tomorrow. Leilani,
Bye, teacher.
bye bye. Have a really good afternoon. Bye bye.
My
Bye. You're